Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Trevor Guy, and today I'm joined with my good friend Chris Roth, and we are going to have a conversation on what is live commerce. So, Chris, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Trevor. Nice to be here.
Let's just get right into it, Chris. People are here, they're curious. I know you have the live commerce startup StageMe, StageMe.live, and it's been in the works for a little while and going through a growth stage, which is exciting. And I wanted to ask for those who might not be familiar with live commerce, is what is live commerce in your own words?
Live commerce is the next step in the e-commerce universe. So you need to have better customer experience for your clients, for your customers. And live commerce is providing you that so that you can live interact with your customers. They can ask questions. It's a community engaging tool, which also helps you as a brand owner, retail owner to have better conversion rate and have a better customer experience in the end.
And so live commerce, it's I guess live interaction between an organization with a representative and a seller and the buyer. So how exactly do companies utilize this, or how do they even get started?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get started. I mean, maybe there are some companies having already social media content creation teams, so it's just another type of content creation. So if you're doing already video, it's not far away to do a live video as well. If you're not using social media at all, I think it's the best time to start with. So StageMe can be your first step in the content creation process to make a live event with your customers, getting real-time feedback, and meanwhile recording the event. So using the video later in social media and for short videos or other stuff. And you just need yourself, maybe a smartphone. Yeah, so smartphone to capture the event, and the smartphone has everything you need. So it's a mic, it's a cam. You just need internet access in the smartphone. You can start with a live event.
And so I know that China has been a leader in live commerce. The industry is much more advanced and more saturated in the Chinese market, but is yet to take off in the West. And yet to take off in the West, last year, it was around a $40 billion industry, while in China, it is over a $600 billion industry. So why do you think it is so popular in China and not quite there yet in the West or United States?
Yeah, I would also think that it's even maybe smaller than the 40 billion because we didn't see that it started really with live commerce. So it's everything in the starting baby shoes. It's just beginning right now with live commerce in the West. First of all, we have a different um, behavior, consumer behavior in the West, in the US and Europe than in China. In China, everything it's pretty discounted. Everything is cheap. Everything sold in masses. The people there are also more focusing on live streaming in China because they need to verify that the products are not fake. So they have another reason also to join live commerce sessions. Here in the West, it will be different. We will see live commerce also on social media, on the big platforms, but we will see it rather on the brands and e-commerce sites itself. So it will be more quality than quantity. And I think this is the biggest, I think, point which will differentiate from the Chinese live commerce setup.
Yeah, and I know in China, Alibaba, Douyin, there's some huge players in their live commerce market, but those won't necessarily translate to the West for a myriad of reasons. Most of it probably comes from trusting Chinese tech and geopolitical factors.
Correct.
But we have yet to see the big tech players in the West really take off with this, and in many ways fail so far. With Facebook and TikTok recently, what do you think is the difference between China and the West in terms of adoption from the big tech players?
So first of all, regarding TikTok and Facebook, because this was pretty discussed, widely discussed in social media on LinkedIn, why it failed. Um,
So far.
so far. So they failed because they didn't had the e-commerce setup in behind. So every time you wanted to have a live commerce session on TikTok, And on Facebook, you had to be redirected on another page, and there was like a lot of friction in the buying process. So what we will see is, maybe because YouTube, on the other hand, also with Shopify, just announced 1 week ago or 2 weeks ago that they will start now live commerce on YouTube as well. This will, I think, go pretty smoother than on TikTok, because they have this e-commerce capability then with Shopify, so that you can really make all the things within a live commerce show. This is also the same thing with StageMe. If you want to enhance your brand's e-commerce capabilities with live commerce, then you want to bring the users to your website, to your e-commerce store, and making there the live commerce journey, and everything should be really frictionless and really without any interruption. So the customer experience is really, really important, because in the end the customer is deciding if a technology is a success or not. And this was the case with Facebook and TikTok.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up with StageMe as well. So, because I know StageMe is a software as a service product solution, whereas YouTube would undoubtedly be more of a network kind of hosting these live commerce shows. What do you think are the advantages of each? A software as service product solution, SaaS, or being part of a huge tech conglomerate's network like YouTube?
So this is a good question, really good question, Trevor. Let's say it like this: it's depending completely on the use case and on the client. There are maybe many clients, let's say YouTuber influencers on YouTube, and maybe Amazon FBA dropshippers, people like in this direction, brands in this direction. They need maybe YouTube live commerce because they're depending on it. But if you're having your own retail shop, your own brand, having your own universe, and you build it already a brand and invested a lot of money into it, it's not good to give too much credit and too much importance to social media, because then you will increase your dependency on these. Rather than using social media to have a funnel to bring everyone to your site, to your app, or to your universe, and converting everyone there. Because maybe you also know it from yourself, Trevor, but I know it from myself when I'm on TikTok, on Instagram. It's this. So if I'm making a live commerce event on YouTube, or on, let's say, later on Facebook and TikTok, I invest a lot of money into it, and people are coming to it, and then they have this habit to swipe up and to go to the next story if there is just a second boredom, or it's just a second boring, and then they're switching and going to the next thing, to the next dopamine rush. And better bringing all your customers to your website, having them there you can analyze them even better, because the data is then also yours. You can see what is working, what is not working. You having the conversion rate on your website, everything is working for you, and you are not so dependent from social media. I think this is the most important thing where StageMe wants to help, to be more independent from social media, and to leverage maybe social media to work for you, and not that you're working for social media in the end.
Yeah, so in a way, it's kind of like owning your social media presence and kind of aggregating that onto your own domain.
Correct.
And kind of being able to get the conversions on your site, take in that valuable first party data, and also kind of add to a firm's data collection strategy with live commerce on the site with some very valuable data points, as you mentioned. I wanted to also go into the idea that big tech, the products are free and the services are free, and I'm sure they'll take a commission with live commerce. But
yeah, they're not free. They're not free, Trevor.
No, they're not free, because as many people say, data is the new oil, and they want it badly. So if you're in West Texas and have an oil well, why call in ExxonMobil when you can start getting it yourself and disseminating it yourself and using it for your own purposes, instead of these massive conglomerates which have turned into billion-dollar industries.
Yeah, it's not your billion-dollar industry, it's theirs. And if you're doing live commerce shows and doing all the customer experience process from the beginning to the end just on social media, this creates a complete dependency. So this can work well for special kind of people. So when you're an influencer and just relying on YouTube, let's say you're Mr. Beast or somebody with millions of followers, then you stay in this ecosystem because you're from this ecosystem. You're born there and you stay there. And yes, maybe you can create your online shop, and it's good then to use social media as an leverage. But in the end, if you're having your own brand, it's a completely different use case. Then you want to be dependent from social media, because tomorrow maybe YouTube is out, maybe Facebook is out. Then there is a new platform, as it is with TikTok. You have to merge to TikTok. You have to switch everything to focus on TikTok. The other day, I don't know, it will be a new social media platform. You have to create there everything. And yes, it's important to create the organic reach, to create attention and to get new customers, but not to be completely dependent also on the money side, on the conversion side, on social media. Bring it to your own brand. Give your customers a new experience, building a new community which is completely independent from everything which is social media. This will create on the long run the most value. And as you also said, Trevor, there is this huge point about first-party data, which will be a huge topic in 1-2 years, when also Google will switch do not track functionality like Apple did, and then everyone wants to push their own brand, their own website, their own platform, their own apps, and then it's the best time to have live commerce. Then and to have like this customer experience in the end, because if you don't have it, then others will have it and they will outcompete you with live commerce. So it's the right time to start with live commerce, because now people can train, they can make mistakes, can iterate from live show to live show, being better and being an own influencer on your own site in your own universe, and this will create tremendously value for you and for your customers.
Yeah, it's also like kind of controlling your product's narrative in a way as well. You don't depend on text reviews from sites. You don't depend on reviews from people who may or may not have bought the product, but you get a chance to speak for yourself, speak for your product, show people how to use it, show the value. And ultimately, social media is just another way of disseminating a message. They don't create your product. They don't create your brand story. That's all you and your company. And that's what's creating the value. And in a way, if I'm hearing you correctly, using your own live commerce solution is a way to continue to take control of that.
Control is a really important key point, yes. So
yeah, and so you mentioned, okay, these companies, they can do it themselves and should be doing it themselves. Well, the next question would be, what are the steps of getting live commerce up and running on your own domain? I know you mentioned it's simple, and I know it's simple too. I've seen it. I've done it. But how simple is it, and what are the steps you need to do to get it going?
So the first step is to come to www.stageme.live, and there is everywhere a big button with create your free account or something similar. So you can create a free account on the way without putting too much information into it. So it's really fast to register. And then if you're into your account, there is a section which is calling integrations, where you can integrate with your shop system. And then you have also the possibility to get a code, an iframe code, which you can put on your website, or you can create within your shop system directly an StageMe window, so that you can put it everywhere on your shop system and having the show. So it's pretty easy to do it. You don't need any developer. So you just need to know just need to have the codes and the passcodes and the access to your accounts, but I think you have it. And in the end, it's just a click, and putting some information you already know, and it's finished in 10 minutes. You can starting your live commerce show.
Wow! So in under an hour, you can get started and up and running.
Yes.
And so when people do that, when people get their software connected to their shop and go live streaming, what are some of the important aspects to keep in mind for brands when they decide to actually get on camera and start to present?
I mean this depends. Sorry for the question. This depends on the strategic goal. Let's maybe take two goals to make it simpler. So one goal could be to increase brand awareness, to communicate, to educate your customers about your brands and your products. And sub this goal, you have things, other steps, and on the other side, you're having maybe conversion rate goals. You want to sell a lot of products which are maybe a long time or on your raft, and you have to discount it to give it away because they're costing you more than they're making you. So there are two different goals, and depending on these two goals, you have different steps to follow through. But in the end, it's always the same. The presenter has to be authentic. He or she has to know how to present himself in front of the camera, and maybe also to bring a lot of fun with you. Don't make a live commerce show on a bad day. Make it on a happy day. Bringing also maybe other people from the team in. So don't be alone. Having maybe multiple persons presenting in front of the camera. Having a good internet connection is also a really important factor, so that there's, from the technological side, no downside. So everyone can receive the stream. Everything is clear, crystal clear. The audio is clearer, video is clearer, and this is, I think, provided with a really good internet connection and a pretty new smartphone like the Samsung S20 or iPhone 12 or 13, and having some products ready. Having some products ready to show off, to present, talk about, but also engage with the customers. Engage with the customer because customers want to be within this thing. Don't be just one too many. Be a directional conversation. So you're not seeing the customer right now. This is a feature what we are developing right now, but you can talk to the customer through the chat, so they can respond through the chat. They can ask questions. You can respond to them. So being natural in the end and making this live commerce shows, and do it maybe regularly, maybe once a week, or others that are also making it daily, to iterate and to become even better from show to show, because you will see that your audience is special and they have special needs, and you have to address to these special needs. And I think when you're making more live shows, you're getting more experience, you're becoming fast, better, and then you have a competitive advantage also against your competitors, but also bringing your customers value in the end, and this is the most important thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a way to kind of humanize the customer journey online and in an ever more automated field. But I wanted to touch on a couple things you just mentioned, because I think it's very important to point out, and is that maybe, because live commerce, it's sort of this new thing that's going on, and a lot of people have trouble understanding exactly what it is and how to be successful. But one way for me at the beginning to help understand, to kind of encompass the whole phenomenon or subject, is that it is kind of a blend between e-commerce on one hand, social media on the other hand, and then ultimately entertainment, kind of tying it all together, because at the end of the day, it is a show used to push products that is promoted on social media. So you kind of have all three of those facets working together.
Yes, I can comment to it, because it's right as you said, Trevor. So it's blending together, and I think it will be blend even more into the future. So in the next years, we will see that it will become even more merged into one thing. So we can maybe put a label about it as social commerce, or maybe interactive commerce. Let's call it like that.
Yeah.
That you're bringing the store, the brand to your customer, and connect it in his universe. So he is on social media, he is on the couch, and he's sitting there with his smartphone and browsing through the web. So I think this is a situation everyone knows. And there is his favorite brand, or one of his favorite brands, who is doing a live commercial with some value, with new product, with a story, with something. And he will engage with it. And he will engage with it through social media. I mean, in the best case, because he is a lot of time there. I mean, The average time of every American, also European, is 2 to 3 hours, I think, on social media every day, something around
Oh
that.
God,
So yeah,
it's just
the
a
truth.
lot, man. That's just a lot.
I mean, it's the truth. Maybe there's some guys also who are maybe a couple of more hours on cable networks and Netflix. But in the end, we are sitting a lot of hours in front of the screen. In the winter, maybe even more than in the summer. But this is the new reality, man. And I think it's our obligation. We cannot fight it. It's there. But what we can do in this situation is giving people hope, giving people entertainment, giving them a good experience. Maybe also telling truth, providing good values through social media. So everyone is an advocate of some values in the end, and maybe everyone is with his or her ultimate values, but connect with your people, build a community, and let's be a herd and tribe and a community again, and not everyone in front of the screen alone in the dark. So yeah, but
Yeah, no,
this is something which will also change, and this is maybe one thing to add with the metaverse, because the live commerce is some kind of a forefront of metaverse, also social commerce, because everything will merge into the metaverse. So what is the metaverse has nothing to do with Facebook, with Meta, because they labeled it now. Now I think it's more about the next step of the internet. The Web 3.0 will be internet which will be overlaid over our reality. So it will be emergent through physical and digital. There's also this new word, phygital. And I think in this reality, live commerce will be having a huge importance, because you're connecting with a human in the end. You're watching a human, you're seeing a human, you can connect with him. And it's better than just a robot or just a two-dimensional e-commerce store or just social media, which is also humanized, but it's not real because it's not real time. So live commerce is the most real human interaction you can have in all the social media internet experience out there.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's the next best thing besides actually physically being in the store for a retail location. I mean, live commerce allows you that human interaction, allows you that browsing, but all with the convenience of doing it from wherever you may be, as long as you have an internet connection. And so you've mentioned all these benefits, and it's not hard to see for those who have experimented with VR, AR, or consumed it in any way, to see the value that live shopping could have there, with overlaying different whatever furniture, clothes, whatever it might be. It's easy to see how this would be the next step there. But in the present, because you mentioned it's easy to set up, you don't need that complicated of equipment. Most people already have it with a smartphone, computer, and internet. What do you think is the main reason why the adaptation is so slow, or why companies are so hesitant to jump into live commerce?
I think it's pretty simple. First of all, the Western technology has still to adapt, like the live commerce technology, to the Western needs. So we are in the really early innovators phase, adapting to the business use cases, adapting the user experience, the front end, the customer experience to our needs here in the West. And when we hit this point where everything is like, let's say, to 90-95% adapted, then I think it will scale up. We're seeing the first companies, big companies, Walmart or other companies also from Germany, Otto Group, which are starting right now, and it will trickle down all the industries and all the market chains, so everyone will use in some way live commerce. Others will do it on a regular basis, others will use influencers for it, others will use it more as a tailor shopping channel, others will use it for more informational like infomercials, educational purposes. But this will come with time. So it's like TikTok. Maybe TikTok is the best example. The TikTok, or Douyin, how is it called in China?
Yeah.
is already there for a couple of years, like live commerce is in China. And we are later on this trend, but this trend will also come in the end to us. So it's just a matter of time, and it will come. And I think there will be natural selection. There will be like some adaptation to live commerce for the West, but in the end, we will see it in 2-3 years everywhere. So it will be something normal.
Yeah, no. So, Christian, this has been absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much for taking the time today to talk with us a little bit about live commerce and the industry in general, how simple it is, and kind of where it's going. I think this warrants another follow-up discussion sometime.
Yeah, I think so. So maybe the community can ask some questions, what they want to talk about next time, and then maybe we can also do a live stream via StageMe. So this is also possible. Let's see, to make this podcast also live. Yeah, but thank you, Trevor, for your time. Thank you for your input. Thank you also for your view on live commerce. And I am looking forward to announce that we will publish a StageMe live commerce white paper, which will be accessible on the StageMe website or on also maybe social media. And thanks also to Trevor, who researched a lot in the live streaming industry and gathered a lot of information about live streaming. I think you're right now a live shopping, live streaming, live commerce expert. So maybe you can get also a doctor in it to be like promoted, like have a promotion live commerce. So thank you, Trevor, also for your time and for your effort.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. And for everyone who's listening, live commerce, it's easy to start. It's simple to set up. You can do it for free. www.stageme.live. You can get it up and running right now in less than an hour. I encourage you to try it out. And we will see you next time.